So you want to fly a drone, aren't you? And you think it's as simple as grab your controller and shoot for the skies, right? Well, not so much. There's a lot of things, but before I tell you, make sure you like and subscribe. So here's what you need to know. Direct visual contact is required if you want to fly a drone. Now there is an exception if you're doing POV drone, but you need to have a second person next to you to see the drone. You cannot be more than 500 meters away from the drone, otherwise it'll just get too small and you can barely be able to see it. Like 500 meters is a huge difference. Just distance, not difference. Avoid populated areas, which is a reasonable thing enough because you don't want to scare the hell out of people by flying a drone over them. Keep a minimum of 8 kilometers away from the airport, which is very reasonable because you don't want to crash into a plane and cause the plane to explode. That would be really, really bad. And really hard to explain. And also keep a minimum of 3 kilometers away from helipads. Also, you cannot fly at night. You cannot fly around military facilities, archaeological sites and private property because security. If you aren't from the EU and want to fly a drone in the EU, you will be required to get a remote pilot certificate which will allow you to fly a drone in the EU. You need to register your drone if it has a camera or microphone. Also, there's a maximum height of 120 meters because airplanes. That's the minimum height an airplane can travel at. So if you go into that airspace, then you can get really risky. So now let's talk about the categories. So the safest being A1. You may fly over people, but do avoid it if possible, and you're not allowed to fly over crowds. So if your drone is less than 250 grams, you do have to register it, but only if it has a camera. So if your drone is less than 500 grams, you have to register it, as well as take an online test, an online exam, and read the user manual. So now on to A2. This is the middle. If your drone is between 500 grams and 2 kgs, then no closer than 50 meters horizontally from a person. You do have to take a registration and you have to be 16. You have to read the user manual, online training test, basic online test, self-practical training and a theory test. So now to the A3 category. If your drone weighs more than 2 kgs then nobody can be near you whatsoever and you have to be 150 meters away from any residential area. You have to register as well as be 16 or over. You have to take the user manual, online training and online tests. A full link to the website will be in the description down below which explains absolutely everything you need to know. If you found this video interesting despite me stuttering thousands of times, then consider liking and subscribing.